to my reflection for the 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Today we hear a man who is blind begging Jesus to restore his sight. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. The great faith of this man is very impressive and very beautiful to see. He hears Jesus passing by. He calls out. He gets no answer. He calls out again. And the crowd with Jesus tells him to be quiet. Tells him, the master's passing by. Just be quiet. It's none of your concern. But he calls out even more, convinced in his heart that Jesus can heal him. And he calls out again, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stops. He hears the man and he stops. And he has the man brought to him. And he says, and this question is such an enormous question, what do you want me to do for you? Oftentimes when I hear that question that Jesus asked read in the Gospels, I often ask myself, what would I want Jesus to do for me? This man knows exactly what he wants. He wants his sight to be restored. And I think it's beautiful because Jesus then says, your faith has healed you. And it's his faith in Jesus that he will restore his sight, but also his faith to be able to go back and practice his faith. When you can't see, you're basically incapable of doing anything back in the time of Jesus. You couldn't go anywhere. You had to rely on people all the time. So he couldn't partake in right worship. He couldn't go in the temple and partake in the rituals that would bring him closer to God. And that's why he wanted his sight back. I think there's a beautiful connection in the first reading we hear of the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah is preaching at a time, prophesying in a time when the Jews were exiled from Jerusalem and living in Babylon. And it was the promise through Jeremiah that they would be returned. And I'm just going to read it because part of it is beautiful and it really connects to this man in this gospel. Among them, those who are blind and those who are lame, those with child and those in labor, together a great company, they shall return here. We see the fulfillment of this promise, yes, when they do end up returning to Jerusalem. However, we also see it in this man. His blindness is restored, and he can now worship at the proper temple, with Jesus, who is the temple, the new temple, the right worship. And the man then, after he receives his sight, we hear, goes and follows Jesus. And that is what we are called to do in our daily life. Use our lives in service of Christ, to follow Jesus, to truly ask ourselves, to take that moment and go deep inside ourselves and ask, what do you want me to do for you? What do I want Jesus to do for me in my life? What are my motivations behind it? Is it just so I can go, if I am blind, if it's so I can go and do what I want? Or is it so that I can give glory to God and fulfill my true calling and worship at the proper temple? And I think that's the question that we really are being asked today. What do I want Jesus to do for me today? What is going to bring me closer to him? Are my motivations pure like this man? Or do they need a little bit of a tweaking? And so I will leave you with that today, because it's the question I'm asking myself as well. It's not just for you. It's also what I'm asking myself. And I think we'll just leave it there today. And I encourage us all to just take time to ponder that question, to see, what does it mean for me? What do I want Jesus to do for me today? God bless.